part of the idea is to keep the building looking modern on the outside, normalise straw bale construction, while in the inside being a surprise factor when you've got little windows into the straw bale wall or pieces of information about how it's been built. A real 3D textbook of how to incorporate sustainable technologies within a building. So that's something that we're really keen to do.
Yes, the idea is that you see this modern shiny building and you think, oh great, and you walk in and you go, oh wow, it's made of straw or tyres or whatever else we can find lying around really. And I think that's going to be really interesting. It's important to know it is going to be a completely modern kind of showcase building. It's going to be split into two really. So you've got 2 teaching rooms with room for about 30 each. These are going to be alternative teaching rooms, innovative space. So not traditional classroom.
Yeah, innovative teaching space. So something where you wouldn't just book it out of normal timetabling as a lecturer or tutor. You go into the room and you have to use the room or rearrange the room to suit how you want to teach.
That should encourage you to use it differently. I think one of the great things we argue is that when you walk into a traditional lecture space, you know exactly where you're going to sit, you know exactly what you're going to be doing, no matter whether you're presenting, lecturing, or whether you're a student absorbing the knowledge. As a student, you walk in, you sit down, you open your book and get ready to take notes without even thinking about it. And when you're on autopilot, you're disengaged with the environment around you, you're not fully present. And how can you be active and engaged in your learning if you're not present in the room?
I think as well, you build strong associations with what you learn with where you are, your surroundings at the time. And if it's the same on lecture theatre day after day, you've got nothing in particular to remember that learning for.
Nothing to identify with.
But if you learn something in this weird and wonderful room, or the same room with a completely different layout, you think, that's the thing that I learned in that room, that's the thing that I learned in that space. You can use technology in wonderful ways to project different environments onto the walls around you, create sounds, smells even.
A space that doesn't limit your ideas, or space where there's going to be no front to the rooms, we're quite set on that. There's going to be no podium, you can't walk in there and instinctively sit down and know where to face to receive a lecture.
And I think part of the purpose of this teaching space is so lecturers can come in, use the space, experiment with different ideas, different layouts, different teaching methods, and then they can export that back out into the wider university. They can take that into more traditional lecture rooms. So this is really a kind of testbed, an incubator for alternative teaching.
That will be about a third of the space, a third to a half of the space will be teaching space.
The other 2/3 was trying to create a kind of, again, it's a bit of an incubator space, but it's for student projects.
Student work.
We come at it from the point of view is what space would we have needed if we were to do this project again? What facilities do we need to have these ideas, record the ideas, set everything out, organise ourselves, promote our project? What tools would we need? And we're going to hopefully put those in the space.
So picture an entrepreneurial incubator with whiteboards everywhere, lots of blocks. It's important to promote movement. I think we don't understand how much our space influences our behaviour. If you have very tall chairs, or sometimes quite uncomfortable chairs in some instances, placed in the right way, that encourages you to move about, encourages you to walk about, because you're much more creative when you're moving.
Yeah, I think if you want to have an idea, or if you've got an idea and you want to write it down, you should have all the tools to do that. You should have a whiteboard nearby. Or if you can't draw it, but know how to describe it, you should have a dictaphone nearby, or a video camera. Or if you want to express it in other forms, if you want to express your idea in interpretive dance, you should have a way of being able to capture that and then develop it. You need to have this computer software or Lego or Play-Doh even to model something, and then after that you need to have the ability to communicate that, to share that with other people, to leave it in the space so that other people who come into the space after you, for example, or at the same time when you're in there, can look at it and say, I wonder what that is, and get in touch with you if they want to also do a project similar. So it's about looking at every stage of the design and development process and trying to provide the tools, which means there's no limitation for how people can express themselves.